Welcome into the Game Plan with head coach Dan Quinn. Here are your hosts, Bryan Colbert Jr. and Logan Paulsen.
Commanders family, welcome back into the Game Plan. We kick it with head coach Dan Quinn to get ready for this NFC East rivalry game against the Philadelphia Eagles today.
And we head into the film when we talk defense and how they can keep Philadelphia bottled up.
And as always, we do our must-watch matchup so we can get this victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. All that and more
on the Game Plan
right now.
Welcome again, our head coach, Dan Quinn. Coach, big win on the road. What do you take from that win as we move forward?
A lot. Anytime you can execute at the end of the game at the level that you want to, there's something to be gained from it. I'd say the first half is the one that you want, but the second half is the one that you need. And you go through ups and downs like of the games and how do you come back. But I've been a part of games like that where it goes the other way, where momentum shifts. So at the end, when you get a chance to execute a winning play, you know, to win the game offensively, defensively, or special teams, there's value in it. And when you can deliver on that, that's a really big deal. So if it was just one play that you get out of it in a moment like that, to know you can be counted on and deliver, you're never out of it, like those are powerful things.
Yeah, and you know, obviously there were some penalties, specifically like hitting the quarterback and stuff. Obviously, good learning moments.
Right. How
do you kind of make those corrections? Is that just, hey, here's some film, this is what the refs call, or like is something we do in practice that makes that better?
A little bit of both. Most times, Logan, the penalties aren't team-wide.
Sure.
It can be a player grabbing. It could be a technique that you have to go. And for instance, like with the quarterback there, shorter quarterback. So lowering your target. You know, if you're matching his hand to go deliver, I got to get it off to the side. The pre-snap ones, that's just got to go.
Sure.
Man. If you're leaving early on a false start or those ones, that comes down to our focus. And so over and over repetitions, but more than not, you teach specific about the correction.
And Coach, today we're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles for a second time. How much does that first game play into what's going to happen today?
A lot and a little at the same time. I'll explain what I mean.
Yeah.
We know a lot about them. We played them, before. And, we in the first game, although it was close, it was not what we would have loved for our own performance, especially in certain areas. But the thing I would say that they don't know is that we have a lot more under the hood.
I was going to say, yeah.
And so there is things to be gained from that. And there's an edge to find, Usually when you play a division opponent, you kind of think of it in three things. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? And what do I want to do exactly the same? Because each matchup's a little bit different. But if I like one specific thing, let's do some more of that. We're not going to try this play, this scheme, this thing, but we are going to start doing one other thing that we like. So never is it rinse and repeat when you play the same team. Both teams will have a few new things that they haven't shown before. And that's what makes the division game so much fun, especially the second time around in the season.
Yeah, and you did have you said there were some things you could do better on and maybe some performances that maybe guys didn't live up to the expectation. As a coach and as a leader, how do you make sure in round two you get what you want out of the group and kind of get them motivated to play? And not that they need motivation, but you get them where you want them to go.
The message that I told the team, the challenge I told the team, are you ready to go from being a contender to a heavy hitter?
Love
and
that.
The heavy hitter right now in our division is Philadelphia, and they've earned that right for this season so far. And so if you want to be a heavy hitter, you got to go beat one. And so there's some leveling up that has to go with that, and that's a good thing because now that's what's expected of you to do that. And so that was my message. If you want to take this challenge on, it's going from a contender, which we are, to becoming a heavy hitter. That's a different conversation. And it takes a certain attitude to be that.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always thought interesting, and it took me a minute to learn in the NFL, was like that there are levels to it, right? So there's, you play a divisional game, bumps up a little bit. Playoffs bumps up even more.
That's right.
And how do you make sure that all the young people know that, hey, man, this is going to be kind of a playoff game for you guys, which is kind of exciting.
The part for the guys, it does come down into the week. What do you get done on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday as you're leading in? Because if the preparation's really good and you know this, man, you're ready for this game. You can't wait for that ball to kick off. And when you have those days that you stack over and over and over again, like, you're ready for this game. And so that's the path that we want to stay into, not just for this game, but for the next game. And if you practice a championship game mindset now, when you do get into those spaces, you don't have to, well, we really need to pick it up now. No, you need to stay in the same pocket of what you do.
You use the word heavy hitter. So when you look at this offense, somebody that exemplifies that is Terry McLaurin. How important is it to keep him involved in this offense, especially early?
Early, middle, late. I'd say all of the above.
All the levels, right?
Yes. Yeah. And he brings a unique energy to us. He is a rare competitor. On the field, you feel that type of intensity from him. And so it'll be a big factor for sure. No doubt about it. Between the run game, Terry, making plays on special teams. This, like I said, this is a good team, and we'll have to play our best game as well. And we're more than capable of doing that. But Terry, he's right at the front of that list.
And it seems like, he's kind of picked up some more targets, some more opportunities, kind of with some of the injuries you've had on right. offense. Like, how important is that he's been able to elevate, and that Cliff's been able to help him out, kind of, moving around the formation and getting him in some of those better situations? Yeah,
I think that's the key. Just like you said, Logan, to say, can he be at the first or the second read more often? And if you can do that and find more opportunities, and I have a sense if Terry gets more targets, there's more production that goes behind that. You can't force it, and that's one thing from Jaden that we're extremely proud of. He has a very good conscience about the ball. To sit here at +5 in the turnover margin with a rookie quarterback, after 14 games or so, that's a big deal. And it shows his intentionality about taking care of the ball and not putting it in bad spots. So he knows when to deliver it to Terry. He knows where to, and others. And that's one of the things about Jaden that impresses me.
And Coach, we talked a lot about winning in the trenches. What do you want to see from our big guys, that offensive line in today's game?
Yeah, it's a line of scrimmage day, man. Yeah. And from both sides, this is teams that, are physical and are going to play that way. You're going to see a lot of 4-down football from both teams. Both teams are exceptional on 4th down, have had big success both ways. So it'll go all the way through the running game, the line of scrimmage. But in this game specifically, both teams are capable of playing 4-down football. And that's a big deal in the run game, because some 3rd downs don't necessarily mean all passing downs. And there could be some runs on some different downs and different distances that could be the real factor in the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question about Jalen Carter, but then you brought that up about the 4th down stuff. And just how does that change, that ability that they have and that kind of willingness to go forward in those situations, excuse me, to kind of say, hey, we got to be more aggressive on 1st and 2nd down to keep them out of these 3rd and short, 4th and short situations.
That, I think, is the deal, because especially the 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, they're so effective.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to live in a short yardage game. So from the run game to defending the passes, creating some takeaways, to one less possession, another less possession. And the field position is going to be big here. It's outdoors, going to be cold today. And as we're going through that, those field positions are a big deal. And so kicking the field goal versus going it on 4th and 2 in traditional field goal range. But this is a team that you have to be bold with. Like I said, they've proven to be the heavy hitter in our division so far this year. And you have to be bold, going against them.
And Coach, looking at our defense, we got to see Marshawn Lattimore out on that field. How great was it to see him, and how do you feel he fared his first time out with the burgundy and gold?
If you have that quiet of a performance, that's an excellent day in the passing game for a corner. I love the intensity that he plays with, the mindset of competing, of what he stands for as a ball player. That showed up to me in such a strong way, and I love that he plays a position that oftentimes people aren't seeing in that type of physicality and playmaking ability, and he is. And so he fits in fantastically in terms of a commander mindset defensively.
Mike Sanderson got his 2nd career interception. What have you seen from the rookie? We talk about it all the time.
We gave him a little trouble. We thought 2 and 3.
2 would have been.
Yes. And so we definitely didn't let him off the hook for that. But he is a remarkable rookie player, leadership, follow through, the competitor, what he stands for as a ball player. He is going to have a fantastic career. He has the traits that you saw earlier from the Wagners, how it was so important to get it right, to get to the details. And Bobby was like that as a young linebacker. He was hungry for all of the information, and Mike is exactly the same. He wants to find the details, get to it. He loves to compete. There's nothing that's going to set him back. and he has that makeup in him.
And he does seem to have a knack for turning the football over. Like, obviously the ball skill stuff makes sense because he played receiver,
yes.
right? But there's also like an awareness when he's in the pile, he's pulling for the ball. Like, I know you talk about turnovers a lot, but there does seem something to be kind of innate in him in terms of that.
Yeah, 100%. The ability to think about it, have awareness for it. Some can and some can't.
Sure.
And he has that part of it. It's not just the ball skills. You're right. He'll punch it out. He can see it and make the play.
Yeah.
And others are just so focused sometimes on just the opponent they're going against. They fail to see the leather. And Mike does not. He can see it. And there's others that can as well. But I really feel his trajectory is really on the way up.
And Coach, I know better than to look forward at all. I know it's all about today's game.
Yes, I know. We got in trouble with that last week.
However, all the media, all social media, everybody wants to look forward, wants to look at the playoffs and all that. How do you keep your guys locked in on today's game and keep them from getting too far ahead?
Right. If you're not fired up for today's game, man,
this is the one, right?
We got to check your pulse, bro. Like, if you're looking past this one, like you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to miss anything like this. I wouldn't want to miss one step of it with them. And that's what makes being on this journey with them so much fun. Like, no need to worry about down the line when we could just, like have a blast doing what we're doing and stay right into it.
Coach, we don't want to miss a second of today's game. Before we get to that, y'all got to get in the film room. Coach, we appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
It was great hearing from Coach. Now, let's hear a little more about today's matchup. It's time for a competitive edge brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. Now here's a look at the upcoming competition for the Commanders. The Commanders are playing at home today against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are coming off of their 10th straight win of the season. Philadelphia leads the NFL in total defense and is tied for the NFL lead in scoring defense. Meanwhile, Washington's win-loss record currently stands at 9-5. Their best through 14 games for Washington since 1992. Now stick around, Commanders fans. Logan and Coach Quinn will head into the film room right after this break to talk about the Commanders' dynamic defense. You won't want to miss it. And later on in the show, Logan and I will talk about the matchups we're looking forward to watching today at Northwest Stadium.
You're watching The Game Plan, presented by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And by Marsh McLennan Agency, official employee benefits partner of the Washington Commanders. And by Cognier Technology. Secure today, shape tomorrow.
Welcome back into the Game Plan. It's time to go inside the film room, brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly.
All right, Coach, let's talk a little defense. I know Jaden Daniels, offense, get all this love, but I think this group is doing such a great job, and I tried to pick 3 plays to kind of maximize that and how they can kind of carry that into the Philly game today. So first play, I mean, you know a lot about this. This is cover 3, and every time I think about your defense, specifically early in my career, a lot of cover 3. And I think these guys do a great job here of kind of matching this concept and getting where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and as you're going, when you look at the whole thing, you have to get depth, on a distance this, Logan, where now you can play some things from high to low.
Yeah.
And so by being deep as the players, now you can be underneath some routes, as corners being on top of routes.
Yep.
And then as a middle field player, now you get to be able to read where the quarterback goes, and now you can put yourself into spots to go make some plays.
Yeah, because he's kind of trying to hit this like little corner route here.
Yes.
And I think everyone's doing a great job. Sorry, yeah, there we go. Right there, let's get that going. Does a great job of kind of pushing. You see, push a little vision, get under here. And I love that you said they're getting depth, because as an offensive player, I know you're trying to hit this corner, and you're trying to get guys to kind of, maybe I can get this return route, maybe get a little nosy, right? But everyone's being super disciplined, and it's great to see that level of focus by this group.
You're exactly right, and that's kind of the art of the whole thing, how to high-low people in zones.
Yeah.
And we try to, at times, play where we can match and play man-to-man, where you see Marshawn on a single to the backside do that, versus up on the top where it's more zone element based on the player. So depending on the route and how it comes up, that's how you can mix between zone and man. And in this instance, they want to high-low you. So if you were way down low, now obviously you have space, up high. So an excellent job by the linebacker getting depth, and also by the nickel of Noah getting depth. If they throw it underneath, you got to be able to go tackle it. And that's why we work so hard at that part.
And I know he's a new player, so you got to kind of point him out. But New Orleans hit a lot of these kind of like kind of posts on this.
Yep.
And so, way to not fall asleep at your work. Stay over top. I mean, this is tough coverage here and does a great job. Everyone talks coverage, but I don't know. I see the rush also coming to life. Guys winning one-on-ones. They're going to send the slide here. They're going to get man coverage here or man blocks here, and then we're going to send the slide away. And anytime I think about defensive line, you got to win one-on-ones,
That's right?
And I think number 6 has been excellent in this area.
You have to be able to beat somebody to the punch. So, like, for instance, on this particular one, Logan, where Dante's trying to show like he's really wanting to chop to get outside, you're trying to get the offensive tackle to really open up. And if he has to cross over his feet, Logan, that's when you can get the guy beat, because now no longer is he playing square. So a really good job by Dante of selling it outside, knowing full well he's likely going to come back.
Yeah, and again, you just see how, just how effective he is, how balanced he is. And he doesn't get the sack here, but guys are working. Both guys on the one-on-one win their one-on-ones, and then we're finishing the play. So starts with the coverage, supplemented with the rush. Really nice, just defensive approach there.
Quicker we can get the quarterback off the spot. The routes no longer being to take the same shape. They're not in the same location. The timing's off. And so sometimes just the disruption like that, even without the sack, can make the big difference.
Yeah, and again, so not only, cover 3 on the first play, and then we're getting a little bit of man coverage here. Guys are locked up, right, with their coverage responsibilities. And I think you guys have just gotten so much better in this area as the season's gone on. And also a little bit of wrinkle here. We're going to kind of drop these 2 hook players out to help with the man coverage, and guys just do a great job of getting sticky and also supported by the rush.
We're fortunate that these 2 linebackers are both excellent blitzers, so we want to sell the blitz that the quarterback needs to speed it up and then not blitz and be able to come back out and then allow the 4-man rush to take place.
On this one too, especially because this is just a little angle or choice, and you're going to pull this guy out, and so he wants to get the ball out of his hand quick. He thinks he's going to have man coverage, no hole player, and then nope, here we are right in the hole, nowhere to go with the football, and then now I go into panic mode as a quarterback.
If we can make the quarterback make decisions after he gets the ball and not before, that's a big difference. It's a split second, but it makes all the difference in terms of timing and accuracy of where to deliver the ball.
Yeah, and again, he flushes out of the pocket, guys are pursuing, and Mike Sanders still, great job staying sticky like you're talking about all the time, staying sticky against a good pass-catching back.
If you watch up top, connected. Now you have chances outside the pocket on a long throw that you can now, you become the offensive player and go get the ball.
And he does a great job of that. And to me, everyone talks about Mikey and what a great job he's done. But I think this guy deserves a little shout out here, because this is, when I think of bull rush, this is textbook from a bull rushing standpoint.
Got to sell that you're going up and outside again to try to beat the offensive player outside. And if you can do that, Logan, now you've got chances with his power going sideways to work him back inside. But it's a really good job of getting extension. It's a leverage win by him. And again, getting the quarterback off the spot to allow the other guys to go get into the work. That's a big deal.
It's really fantastic. So to see the coverage where it's at, to see the rush where it's at, I really can't wait to watch this group do that to Philadelphia today.
All right. Thanks, man.
Always great insight from Coach and Logan. Now it's time for your Prime Player, brought to you by DC Prime, Loudoun's premier steakhouse. For dinner reservations or private dining, call 703-840-2099. This week's Prime Player is wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Last week, Terry recorded 7 receptions for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's the first Washington wide receiver to have 10 or more touchdown receptions since Gary Clark in 1991. Now, if you want to hear more about your favorite Commanders, stay right there, because Logan and I will be right back to talk about the upcoming matchups we can't wait to see in today's game. All that on the game plan after this break. Welcome back into the game plan. Don't forget to vote in your favorite Commanders player that you want to see at this year's Pro Bowl. You can vote as often as you would like to choose the 88-man roster and send the league's best players at each position to Orlando. Cast your votes at probowl.com/vote or on commanders.com. Now hurry up and get those votes in, because voting ends tomorrow. Now it's time for your ticket to a win, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Logan, as always, our ticket to a win are these must-watch matchups. You got 60 seconds. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. First one.
So their receivers versus our secondary, specifically Mike Sanders still and Marshawn Lattimore. And again, when these guys are playing well, these 2 corners, and they can kind of negate some of what these guys do on the perimeter, it allows us to play heavier boxes and stop Saquon Barkley in the run game, which is going to be a huge deal in this matchup.
It'll be nice to have Lattimore this time. Next one.
Oh, yeah, this is maybe the one I'm most excited to watch, right? We got the defensive line versus the offensive line for the Commanders. And again, they kind of got the better of us in the first time. But after watching this group versus Tennessee, I'm like, man, they've got this in them. They can win this competitive matchup. If we can run the football, going to bode well. We can possess the ball. Going to be a great day for us.
The Wild Boars, as Fred Smoot likes to say. And then the last one.
Oh, Vic Fangio versus Cliff Kingsbury and Jane Daniels. And this is important because he plays all these coverage structures that look very, very similar. Can Cliff help Jaden out to have a much more productive performance? I think so. Can't wait to see what the wrinkle is.
These are your must-watch matchups and your key to a victory against the Philadelphia Eagles. For head coach Dan Quinn, Bryan Colbert Jr., and Logan Paulsen, this is the Game Plan. See y'all next Sunday, and enjoy the game, Commanders family.